Right now, at this very moment, we are facing the problem of producing enough amount of food for world's population, and almost everyone is aware of this situation. However, producing food is not the only method of food supply. We can also preserve and store them. Microorganisms play an important role in many aspects of food. Louis Pasteur, who at first achieved his career as a chemist, took an essential part on researching food microbiology. He searched for ways to prevent the spoilage of wine and milk. His studies revealed the microbiological nature of fermentations and found a way of using heating to prevent vinegar, wine, and milk from spoiling. This method is called pasteurization, which is derived from its name. And even now, this method is still used. Microorganisms play important roles in many aspects of food. Two of those roles are performing well in the field of producing foods. First and foremost, they change foods into desirable flavor and texture. And the second rule is that they may be grown, harvested, and served as a food themselves. Some of those microorganisms are marine algae and mushrooms. The method of microbial fermentation has been used since the ancient times. Evidence of this comes from stone tablets that have survived from Babylon, describing beer, and Egyptian hieroglyphics and figures showing the making of fermented foods. Even today, microbial fermentations are still an important part of food production. There are many kinds of foods that are fermented and become delicious foods, such as wines that is produced by fermenting fruits like grapes, beers by fermenting grains, and cheese by fermenting milk. Fermentation relies on the bacteria that exist on those foods. Other fermented foods are prepared by increasing natural microbial populations with cultures that grow in the laboratory, or they just depend on the cultures. In addition to this, herbs and spices also have a significant role in the microbiology of food. Herbs and spices are not only used to make food taste even better, but also they are used as medicine and to preserve foods. Thus, the awareness of herbs and spices on their potential medical value has been rising recently. The terms herbs and spices are sometimes thought that they have an equivalent meaning, but actually, they don't have. Herbs are plants that are used to season and flavor foods, and also used as medicines. On the other hand, spices are commonly considered as a dried plant produced to serve as a seasoning. However, an observation proved that both of them have antimicrobial properties. Today, I invited a special guest. Please welcome Dr. Nashima.
Thank you for introducing. On behalf of the laboratory, I explain our experiments and the results. In 1997, Dr. Paul Sherman and Dr. Jennifer Belling examined 43 herbs and spices used in more than 4,000 dishes from 33 nations. First of all, they discovered that the most often used spices are onions, black and white pepper, garlic, lemon juice, hot peppers, and ginger. And then they tested which herbs and spices intensely act as an antimicrobial product. Although all herbs and spices killed at least 75% of the test bacteria, they found that garlic, allspice, onion, and oregano destroyed every type of the bacteria, which is harmful for human beings. For example, the bacteria they used for this experiment included Salmonella and Staphylococcus. Both of them are the main factors of food poisoning. Spices are heavily used in areas where it is hot and has tropical climates in the world. In such areas, there are more problems of food spoilage than in cool areas. Their heavy use of spices has restrained the active effects of microorganisms in the food spoilage. This means that even though there are not enough data of the antimicrobial effects of spices, this effect has been spotted by empirical evidence. Besides, in 1998, Dr. Ami Pavel found that compounds containing cranberries called pyrantothioneine can restrain Escherichia coli. Escherichia coli, which is called Daijokin in Japanese, is a sort of bacteria which can also cause food poisoning. In addition, in the same year, when Dr. Funk and his colleagues studied the spices that can kill bacteria that cause food poisoning, they found that the most powerful agents were clove, sage, garlic, and cinnamon, oregano and cinnamon. Prior to research, there had not been enough scientific evidence to prove the antimicrobial effects of herbs and spices. These effects have been spotted by cultural customs and folklore. For example, Japanese people started to use wasabi as a spice of sushi in the Edo period. In that period, there were no refrigerators and fridges. People knew that wasabi can restrain the microbial action and prevent food from going bad, depending on the experience. So far, I talked about the benefits of herbs and spices. However, I would like you to know that there are some cautions about them. First, antimicrobial effects of spices and herbs can be inactivated through cooking and digestive processes, especially by heat. Second, if taken too much, some herbs and spices can cause illness. Also, self-medicating with excessive amounts of health remedies can cause us trouble regarding to our health. In addition, although there is some guidelines on the use of some specific hardware formulated by the Food and Drug Administration (FDA), there are no official federal regulations of hardware remedies containing harmful contaminants. These were matters that I want you to care about. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Hampa. Generally, microorganisms are both enhancers and destroyers of food. To exploit useful microorganisms in food production and to fight harmful microorganisms by using heating treatment, and to be careful about using herbs and spices are two ways of using microbiology to utilize the world's food resources. Thank you for listening.